Why? It matters. To tangata whenua, to farmers, to rangatahi, to all of us. And protecting fresh water is vital for te taiao. We've put together a draft freshwater plan for te Tai Tokiro. It includes potential new rules that could mean big changes to how land and freshwater is managed in our region. And we want your thoughts on what it means for you. What led to this draft plan being developed? In 2020, the government set a new direction designed to restore the health of waterways across Aotearoa within a generation. We've been working with many others to look at what actions are needed to improve the health of our lakes, rivers, groundwater and wetlands in Te Tai Tokiro Northland. It'll take time and some big changes to how we currently do things to achieve the improvements we need. The draft freshwater plan change sets out our initial thinking about what the new vision, outcomes, limits and rules for freshwater should be. What are the key draft rule changes? Protecting highly erodible land. Updating maps of land vulnerable to erosion. Limiting vegetation clearance and earthworks on highly erodible land. And we're considering new rules requiring stock to be excluded from highly erodible land. Keeping stock out of waterways and wetlands. We've looked at 3 setback distances for keeping stock away from rivers, streams and lakes. 3 metres, 5 metres and 10 metres. We're looking at fixing a gap in the current rules for excluding non-dairy stock from hill country wetlands. The further stock are kept away from waterways, the greater the environmental benefits, especially where wider setbacks include riparian vegetation. Eliminating or reducing discharges. For wastewater treatment plants, prohibiting new discharges to water and stricter requirements for renewal of existing consents. Tightening requirements for farm dairy effluent discharges, phasing out discharges of treated domestic wastewater to waterways. Controls for exotic forests. Larger setbacks for exotic carbon and plantation forestry from waterways. Consent requirements in high-value dune lake catchments. Impacts on tangata whenua values. More activities will need cultural impact assessments for resource consents. Increasing tangata whenua participation in freshwater management, leadership and decision-making. Allocate water for environmental enhancement to recognise the tangata whenua relationship with wai and to preserve te hurihanga wai. What will Northland Regional Council do to help improve freshwater health? We have drafted an action plan outlining the following actions the Council could take, which includes reducing rates for rural landowners, funding to support stock exclusion, riparian planting and restoring wetlands, increasing funding for compliance activity, supporting tangata whenua involvement in freshwater management and decision-making, expanding monitoring of freshwater health, advocating for change with government and district councils, subsidising resource consent applications. What happens next? We need your input to help shape the freshwater plan change, and you can have your say until the 4th of March 2024. Then there will be another opportunity for input later in 2024, when the proposed freshwater plan change is released for formal feedback. You can find more information at whyitmatters.nz.